Who's probably gonna sin again? Lord, forgive me. Lord, forgive me. Things I don't understand. Sometimes I need to be alone. Bitch, don't kill my vibe. Bitch, don't kill my vibe. I can feel your energy from 2 planets away. I got my drink, I got my music, I'ma share it, but today I'm yelling, bitch, don't kill my vibe. 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 Look inside of my soul, you can find gold and maybe get rich. Look inside of your soul and you can find out it never exists. I can feel the changes. I can feel a new life. can be dangerous. I can say that I like a challenge and you tell me it's painless. You don't know what pain is. How can I paint this picture when the club line is hanging with you? Fell on my face and I woke with a scar. Another mistake living deep in my heart. Wearing on top of my sleeve in a flick. I can admit that it did look like yours. Why you resent every making of this? Tell me your purpose is petty again. But even a small lighter can burn a bridge. Even a small lighter can burn a bridge. I can feel the changes. I can feel the new people around me. Just wanna be famous. You can see that my city finally put me on stages. To me that's amazing. To you that's a quick check. With all this respect, let me say this. I am a sinner who's probably gonna sin again. Lord forgive me. Lord forgive me. Things I don't understand. Sometimes I need to be alone. Bitch, don't kill my vibe. Bitch, don't kill my vibe. I can feel your energy from 2 planets away. I got my drink, I got my music, I will share it, but today I'm yelling. Bitch, don't kill my vibe. 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 I'm trying to keep it alive and not compromise the feeling we love. You're trying to keep it deprived and only co-sign what radio does. And I'm looking right past you. We live in a world on 2 different axles. You live in a world, you're living behind the mirror. I know what you're scared of. Feeling I feel emotions inferior. Shit is vital, I know you had to. This shit is vital, I know you had to. Die in a pitiful vein. Tell me your watch and a chain. It's way more believable. Give me a feasible game. Rather a seasonal name. I let the people know this is something you can blame. On yourselves you can remain stuck in a box. I'ma break out and then hide every lie. I'ma break out and then hide every lie. I can feel the changes. I can feel the new people around me. Just wanna be famous. You can see that my city found me. Put me on stages. To me that's amazing. To you that's a quick check. With all disrespect, let me say this. I am a sinner who's probably gonna sin again. Lord forgive me. Lord forgive me. Things I don't understand. Sometimes I need to be alone. Bitch, don't kill my vibe. Bitch, don't kill my vibe. I can feel your energy from 2.
She wanna hop in a Rari. 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 I see that look in her eye. She wanna hop in a ride. I said, are you ready to die? I said, are you ready to die? They telling me that I'm a bully. I'm anti-Semitic fully. They saying I'm acting like Hitler. But how am I acting like Hitler? When went to that island. Why the fuck would you go to that island? Went to the dentist to give me some nitrous. Went to the dentist and put in some diamonds. I did not ask for broke niggas to chime in. They just don't understand me. I'm that nigga that's gon' urinate on Grammys. Rockin' so I stickers cause all my niggas are Nazis. Reading my camp 2 chapters before I go to sleep. Hop in a Rari. She wanna hop in a Rari. She wanna hop in a Rari. She wanna hop in a Rari. I see that look in her eyes. She wanna hop in a ride. I said, are you ready to die? I said, are you ready to die? They telling me that I'm a bully. I'm anti-Semitic, fully. They saying I'm acting like Hitler. But how am I acting like Hitler? When I'm a fucking nigga. I see that look in her eyes. She wanna hop in a ride. I said, are you ready to die? I said, are you ready to die? They telling me that I'm a bully. I'm anti-Semitic, bully. They saying I'm acting like Hitler. But how am I acting like Hitler?
No paper, no phone, no texting, no writing, nobody telling me what to say. This from the brain, from the heart, from the soul, from the streets. I'm a bitch from the streets. I get that money. I get that money. Bitch, give me what you got.
Say what's wrong or right. It's not hard to fool me. 'Cause I'm addicted to the good life. Yeah. Lead the way, I follow. No need to say where we are heading now, babe. I follow. Tell you good night, 'cause I'll find a better one, yeah. Susceptible now, before the moment flies. Ooh, so tell you good night, 'cause I'll find a better one. Ooh, susceptible. Cause I know what I'm getting into. Yes. Yeah. And nothing can stop me. No. Cause I'm addicted to what you and I realize. Lead the way, I follow. No need to say where we are heading now, babe. I follow to the edge of it all. So tell you good night, 'cause I'll find a better one, yeah.
finally back.
You want to come home with me tonight? It's been a while.
So what is it this time? You just want to be held?
The LD, baby. And then I want to be held. That's all right with you?
You know me. It's my duty to please that booty.
Peace. Thank you, sweetness. Shout out to everybody that came in. Sorry for the delay. I have been having technical difficulties for the last fucking hour. Soundboard want to act janky at the last minute. Internet want to be interneting. StreamYard want to StreamYard. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I'm feeling fine. Just was irritated. Had to work on some things. So I'm happy. Y'all love my new place, and I'm finally out of Chicago. Hey, man, shout out to you. Shout out to you for getting the fuck out of that jam. Seriously. Unfortunately, Chicago is just not where it's at no more. It used to be a great place. It used to be a fun place to be. I had a lot of memories in Chicago growing up as a child. Man, I made a lot of good memories, ran across a lot of good people, and made a lot of different moves. But it is just not the same anymore. Um, it's just not the same. You know what I'm saying? But shout out to everybody that's tuning in tonight. Shout out to, sorry, I didn't do Friday. Last couple of Fridays, I've been needing a rest. You know, sometimes this podcasting can burn you out. Sometimes when you got all this other stuff going on, especially for whatever reason, there's just some strange air going on out here now, man. If you got allergies, I'm quite sure that you probably are just getting overwhelmed with your hay fever and stuff like that. We've been getting a lot of rain here in the Midwest. It's been making a lot of pollen fly around, and it's been a hot mess. But I'm doing great. Hope everyone else is doing great. I hope everyone had a great weekend. I hope everyone has been safe, and I hope everyone is striving to be the best version of yourself. You snap today. Hey, that was like a freestyle mix. I said you were spinning the record. Hey, I appreciate it. You know, I had to go back in the crates on that one. I'm gonna bust that back out. It's a recorded set now, so I'm gonna bust that back out for Thursday. I was gonna wait till Thursday to actually play it, but something just in me was like, "Nah, man, you gotta let that one rock out." You know what I'm saying? So appreciate the support on the DJing side. Shout out to all my IMB alumni that rock with us, so to speak. I know we have not been conversing as much as we should, but we'll work that out. We still got a lot of time. It's June right now, so we're in the beginning months of June, so we got July to pretty much all get it together. You know, maybe towards the end of this month, but definitely July. We're gonna do the finals, for all those that do in fact rock with us. It's gonna be a backyard boogie. It's not necessarily gonna be a reunion picnic because I don't like a lot of you motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? I don't. I'm just playing. But no, I rock with some that rock with us, but we just decided to really have this a more of an intimate meeting and meet and greet, and and a thing. So shout out to all those that's doing that. before we go on, because me neither, he said, "Hey, look, I don't regret being a part of the social club and the MC world because I met a lot of good people in it. I traveled to some places that I had never been, got a chance to fulfill a childhood dream when I went out to Philly. Um, you know, been to a few places, and learned something out of it. But it was just we had reached a point where we came in the right idea, but with the wrong circle of people. You know, some of these people just wasn't, what it was supposed to have been from what I seen outside of the city. I won't say the state because there's some good clubs in and out around the Chicagoland area. So I'm not going to say that the whole thing is bad, but just the city, you know what I'm saying? The shitty was just on something different, man. And like I said, I've always talked about it. How a lot of them act and moved. You knew growing up, they didn't get a lot of attention. They didn't get a lot of options. They didn't get a lot of action. They didn't get a lot, from how they act when they came up to an age where they can actually try to show out, being in the circle that we was in. But yeah, man. I wasn't upset getting out of it. I was sad that what I had started and what I was planning and hoping that it would flourish to was a long lasting legacy, not just for me, but for other members that wanted to be a part of that number. After a while, you can only do so much in this shit. But if we could have kept it to a certain situation, but it just didn't work out. And, and I ain't mad about it. And, it is what it is. You know, it ain't, I'll say this, it ain't dead. It's just dormant, you know, but as far as me doing and running and doing all the stuff that I did in it during my time, oh no, that ain't happening no more. You know what I'm saying? That's not happening. Thank you. That's not happening. Can't pay me to do it now. I might come up in some place swinging on people. I don't know, shit. PTSD might kick in and all kind of shit go off, and then I don't need to be on the news, man. Okay, so man, shout out to everybody. Before we start with the actual show, I know a lot of people around have been seeing the whole Carmelo Anthony, shit show. That's been going on, been dragging out into here recently, and we just got the trial over in less than 2 weeks, which was interesting to me on that aspect for this kind of magnitude of a trial. I felt that was kind of, weird, but and the misfortune, and yeah, it definitely was. And the misfortune is that we really seeing certain situations in certain spaces and places in this country where race just really shows its evil head. You know, I've seen a number of content creators, and shout out to all those content creators that was putting stuff out there, like House of Hypocrites. Shout out to you, Lakeisha Keisha. Shout out to you. Um, a few people here and there. I can't like really call their names out right now, but those just the two that just stand out because I watch them a lot. And I didn't really want to speak on it. I didn't even really want to react on it because deep down I knew what was going to happen behind it. And I know everybody want to blame what's going on in politics now, and all. This is deeper than that. This is deeper than that. Just understand that Carmelo Anthony's family did not really serve justice to their child. And helping with this case. They didn't put in enough work and vetting and resources. They probably did with the resources, but they didn't do enough vetting and reading in the room, so to speak, to really see whether or not this young man was going to get a fair trial. And he did not. Then in newer accounts right now, we knew the fix was in anyway. How we saw the makeup of the jurors, how we were starting to hear different things with um, the district attorney is going to do their job regardless, the prosecution, but the defense lawyer, the judge, the victim's father, comes to find out they're all connected with each other. Yeah, I said his lawyer, you know, the defense attorney. Um, all of them know each other. All of them have past. All of them have history with each other. Allegedly, there's a picture that's out of all of them actually together in one picture, hugged up with each other, smiling, skinning and grinning, all this other shit. So it made sense in the initial, reactions to how the trial was going and how the defense was really um, doing the case, so to speak, right? It was very disturbing from my mind's eye because I remember years ago, story time, in high school, I used to be in a law class and our teacher was teaching us all the different things about law and debating and knowing how to survey information and know the ins and the outs of the rules of engagement with your opposing attorney and the things that you can and can't object to, the things that you can and don't want to omit until evidence of whatever cases that you do. And the cool thing was in my school, every year my teacher had it hooked up whereas we would have a case, like a mock case in our classroom. And we would learn these different things in the case as a like a big like a final study or whatever you want to call that now you know and he had a hookup with some of the judges and people at the Daily Center in the day. So what he would do, he had set up whereas we would do what we doing in class, learning this in particular case that he wants the prosecution on one side, the defense on this other side, to learn the case and figure out how we can do the case. Right. I was on the defense side because I just felt at that time, I wanted to help people. I wanted to defend people. I wasn't just trying to, send them to the gallows, so to speak. Right. And it was an actual, deletion case that we were working on. Right. Our client basically did it. There's certain evidence that's in the case and certain alibis and motives and all this other stuff. Right. So I'm studying this. We're studying this. I'm working with, the team that I had as far as my classmates and stuff like that. And, but I was the main, like, I guess you could say attorney. in the case, opposed to it was like it was three of us on each side, right? The main person, the middle person, and the other person that still knows stuff, but it's mainly kind of like the one that helps give you more information, on it, on evidence and stuff like that. So we're arguing this case in front of an actual, Chicago judge, sitting judge. He had the free time to help out the high schools and well, our high school, because it's not like we went against another high school. It was just our class. But he was like, yeah, he residing over the case. We're giving our arguments. The prosecution giving their arguments. We're giving our open statements. I did the opening statement. I can't really remember word for word what it was, but it was pretty, in my mind's eye, I think it was pretty impactful. And the prosecution did theirs. So we went on with the case. So there was just certain things that was going on in this in particular. All right. Let me just give a brief understanding of this case and what I'm talking about, right? Because after this, we're going to go on with the show because I don't want to go too further on, with the monologue. I'm already an hour late, and I'm sorry, y'all, that happened. But sometimes technology technologizes and fucking StreamYard and technology, man. Anyway. But it's better than using a cord and a quarter string or a fucking like metal like a soup can or some shit. So I ain't gonna complain too much. But the basis of the case was that this in particular guy got into a situation with some partners of theirs and it went left and they were supposed to go off on some kind of caper and it didn't go right. And in the end, someone from what they was doing ended up being to the upper room, to the shadow realm, so to speak. Shout out to AC. But and we had to prove that he was innocent. So there were just certain arguments in the case that was going on that I was objecting to, but I was objecting to him in the right case. Now, not saying that we could have got this guy off, but this guy was so-called the main subject, right? But there were just certain storylines that was going on in the actual so-called police filings and their alibis and what they were saying and how they was expressing what was going on. It was a strong chance that he wasn't the one that actually pulled the trigger. It was one of his other accomplices, but they was putting it all on him. So I was arguing a lot of the things about his in particular movement in the case because it's like, okay, I remember it was a story y'all said he was at the window, but if he was at the window, how did the person get unalived 2 minutes later, a floor down from where they all was at? I mean, that timeline and the timing of that, it didn't match. And I was just objecting to a lot of things, right? So the judge looked at me. It was like, Mr. Lee, can you come with me in the chambers? And I'm like, oh shit, I done fucked up. And this is a real judge, man. I'm about to go to jail. You know what I'm saying? I'm all scared and shit. I'm in high school. Like, what the fuck? But no, he was like, I'm like, have you ever thought about seriously becoming a lawyer? I was like, not really, because I'm like an athlete at the time. And I was really focused on that. I'm just doing this for the credits, and it'll just look good on your resume, as you go on further, like in college, stuff like that. So, but he was like, no, now, that you guys are not going to win this case, right? You do understand that how the case unfolds and it's going to be in the prosecution favor. I was like, yeah, I know. But he's like, but how you're arguing it, you would have been able to actually persuade the jurors to have maybe, if not a mistrial, but a hung jury. Not necessarily an acquittal, but either a mistrial or a hung jury. And he said, man, you might want to consider. But I was like, nah, I'm really just doing it for fun and stuff like that. But that was just my story time. That's all I want to say about that. But anyway, like I always say, man, get you some water, eat you some fruit, roll you a blunt, have you a beer, get you a cocktail. But you got to leave them pills alone because them mugs will kill you. I know y'all see the title. This title was actually the actual title of this live stream is supposed to have been titled "Hold the Bitch Accountable Part 2," because months back I did do one some months back with the original title. I kind of got inspired by Sinful to Pee on that because it's not that you're taking someone's idea, but what I'm feeding on is the concept of the idea. And what I mean by that, they are some people out here, men and women, that just do bitch ass shit. It doesn't necessarily have to be gender based. It doesn't necessarily have to be, on one side. But it does happen on both sides. But what I can say, there are quite a few women out here of the female species that just refuse to hold themselves accountable for the things that they might be wrong in because of who they are as far as women, how certain society has depicted the whole gender thing, how certain laws cater to, a certain gender, just how some people just let things go because of such. But, I got to say this. Fuck that. We got to do better as far as holding that bitch accountable. If she's out here doing bullshit, if she's out here setting motherfuckers up, if she's out here trying to run the streets as hard as fucking Fluky Stokes and shit, one of them hard pipe hitting ass niggas, any damn thing. We gotta have a better understanding. See, some of you ladies, you wanted this independent. I won't necessarily independence. Y'all wanted this equality. Y'all roll with Becky and them, march with them, picketed with them, bitched and moaned and screamed with them for equality. And now you got it. And you're still doing fuck shit. You're still complaining. You still angry. Some of y'all feel like y'all more oppressed now than you was 70 years ago. And you're getting more. You're getting a whole lot more. And we're just going to review a few things because it's a purpose and a reason for why I'm saying this. And I know you're like, well, these men do it. These men out here, so a lot of them don't hold themselves accountable. Yeah, a lot don't. But I believe that's more that do. Okay, hold themselves accountable. Hell, I've had to hold myself accountable a lot of times. I'm not perfect. I'm not walking on water. Hell, I didn't meet the king and come back down like, hey, yeah, he told me, yeah, everything is all right. And this is what we need to do. Shit, the fuck. I ain't perfect. But I can understand when certain movements and actions and just mindsets has to change. You just got to change that shit. You just can't just be in the same mindset and expect for elevation or something to change. You know what that's called. It's called insanity. To keep doing the same thing over and over and over again, thinking you and hoping that you're gonna get a different thing, a different action. No, it's not. If you was on the same fuck shit you was in 2015 in 2026, I'm surprised you probably still out here in the realm. But no, you're gonna be stuck in the same rut. But anyway, this here, this is actually something we watching together. I haven't seen this video, but shout out to Heavy Gan for putting this out here. Law Scripper freestyle lies about everything. Perfect example. No accountability. So you gotta hold that bitch accountable. But anyway, let's go.
Okay. She went to go around us, but the car coming this way sped up at her, and she went to cut, so she didn't hit us, and it just spun out.
You guys are both coming in. Hey, yo, Cop Cam Reveal is the channel. If you want to watch this without my brilliant commentary, the link's in the description. Go sub, hit the bell, support this channel. But you know who I do this for. Let's go.
Yeah.
She went to go around you guys.
Yep.
Yes.
When the officers asked for her name, she provided a false name and date of birth and presented a fake New York State government ID card bearing that name.
Man, this is
Of course she did. Of course she did. What you think she was going to actually give you her real name, her real identification and location? Some of these people out here think that we still living in the 80s, the 90s, hell, even the early 2000s, where you can like give law enforcement like a fake name, like throw them off the beaten path because you might like have warrants on you, or you don't want them to have your real information or some bullshit, and you just fly off. Hell, you could give somebody a fake name. Hell, might have did a worse crime than you and get fucking hemmed up. But your dumbass, they got technology now. Even if they find out that you're not who you say you are, they got these devices in the car and shit where they can take your fingerprint right then and there and find out who the fuck you are, especially the ones that want to refuse to say who they are or name themselves, which is stupid. But all right, well, let's go.
This is New York State.
No, I'm from New York State. That's where I'm from. I'm not from here.
God bless him. Why? Okay. He's not from here.
No, it's not. It's the EBT card because I don't know where my driver's license went. Everything just flew out the car.
Okay.
That's what I can find right now.
The officer looked up the information she provided.
I'm sorry. You got to explain this to me. Do some EBT cars like have like your name and like picture and shit on it? Because from the ones I see out here in the Midwest, they don't. It's just like a debit or credit card, like almost, makeup. I remember some years back, Bank of America used to have their bank cards like that where you can actually put your picture on it. It was crazy. And I don't think they still have that. I think it was some certain guidelines that that happened that certain lawmakers is like, hey, nah, y'all doing a little bit too much. So I don't think they're still doing that. But I believe, I think I can remember that Bank of America used to have certain special ones. You had to request for them that you can actually get your picture on that motherfucker, which was wild work to me. But all right, but let's go.
And discovered that it was false. The woman was then asked several times for her true name, but she continued providing the fake name.
Do you have a driver? She had a baby in that car. License.
I have a permit.
A permit out of which state?
New York.
Because they're not showing anything out of New York with the information you provided me. I should be able to pull up that information with your name and your date of birth.
Right.
And nothing is coming up from New York.
I don't know why. Should be
Do you have is there a middle initial, middle name?
No.
So it's Tashana Brown.
Yes.
1993.
I was going to say, this could be some Tashana activity.
Okay.
No, that might be some Bunquisha, some Lateria, some Quanda shit. You know, that might be some fucking, I don't know, some teriyaki, you know, some Mercedes, you know, shit, any damn thing, but it definitely ain't that activity. It's something though.
We're trying to find out who you are still. We don't have confirmation of who you are yet.
What do you mean you don't have?
We can't pull you up in New York. And so we're trying to get as much. Nothing's coming back in New York.
The officer spoke with the woman's alleged father over the phone.
Alleged
the
father.
man also lied about her identity.
Of course.
No, I gave
That
him
ain't
my
her daddy.
Is that your father?
Yeah.
That's what, yeah, alleged.
That ain't your goddamn daddy. That's somebody you call daddy. 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 I need help, daddy. They got me in the jam out here and what was somewhere in Florida or some shit, daddy. I need your help, daddy. You got to tell them who I am, but just don't tell them who I am. But just tell them something. But daddy, just, you know, come on now. I need some help. I'm out here bad. And my butt bleeding. My big toe hurt. And this baby getting on my nerves. And I just don't know what the fuck to do. Hold this bitch accountable. All right. This is the first teacher of these children. And you wonder why these young YNs, as y'all call them, is out here buck ass wilding. I mean, they've been buck wilding, but do you really want to understand, you know, what it is? Yeah, because you got to hold the bitch accountable. Also, shout out to everyone that do be watching my videos and my live streams. I've been looking at some of my analytics here recently. 60% of you guys that watch me are not subscribed. So it would be a great pleasure, and it will really help me in the algorithm and getting more of my content out there. And, you know, and I can probably, you know, once I get my circuit breaker check and, you know, my stem cell money, then I can probably get some better equipment and I can have a better production for you. Okay. I'm just saying, man. The nigga broke, you broke. But y'all be thinking motherfuckers out here doing whatever. I don't know. I've been hearing shit in the streets, but it's all good. Don't worry about us. We decent. All right, ain't nobody hungry, starving, poor, broke, gangbanging. But I am broke, you know. But I got kids. The fuck, man. Them motherfuckers expensive. Shit. Anyway, let's go. But daddy, help me, daddy. Help me, daddy. Help me.
Hello, sir.
So it's like, what's gonna happen with her?
Well, we don't know yet. You know, we don't know because we can't prove who she is.
Hey, nah, that sounds like Mr. Brad on the phone. Oh no, that ain't her daddy.
Yeah, her name is Sasha Brown.
Okay, what's her date of birth?
1993.
And that's your father. Did you live with your father at one time? Are you employed? You work?
I have a business.
Oh.
I have an online store.
All right.
How old are you, ma'am?
28.
28. According to this, she's 29. She told me she's 28.
Goddamn. See, this is why you can't be out here doing bullshit and not being quick with math, motherfucker. You can't, because this is 2022, right? You said they said what did he say, 93? Isn't that like 29 years? Yeah, 93 to 22. So do the math. Yeah, that'd be 29 years old, dummy.
Since officers still could not identify her, They collected her fingerprints, but the rapid ID device was unable to identify her.
This is the wrong place to do this. All right, I'm just now paying attention to the cop car here. Flagler County is one of them counties, from what I've watched, what I viewed on a body cam, that they gonna make an example of your ass. Don't come up there fucking up. If you're gonna shoplift, don't shoplift in Flagler County because they don't play.
The officers located the vehicle identification number, which showed that the vehicle was last registered in New York, but was currently unregistered.
We need you to be truthful with us, because if we can't get a confirmation of
I'm being truthful.
we don't think you are.
How not?
Nothing's coming up.
That's not my issue.
How about
Yeah, it
passport?
is.
Are you
Yes,
saying
it
you're
is.
from Jamaica?
Right.
So are you
Man, that's all your issue.
are you a Jamaican citizen
Did you copy that?
or an American citizen?
I'm American though.
No debit card, no credit card, no state ID, stuff like that. It's just
My dad literally just sent me money because my son just lost my debit card. But I can show y'all.
All right, and now we're gonna blame it on the baby now. Okay.
Right.
I can show y'all.
It's all the baby.
So how are
and
you getting the money?
Ashley.
Cash App, but I swear to you guys, I'm gonna call my dad right now. He can tell y'all.
Do we have your consent?
Cash App is not an ID. You can hook that up. What can you hook up a Cash App? No, you ain't necessarily got to hook up a Cash App with no bank and no shit like that. You can just order a Cash App, put some name on it, and have the information so whoever can Cash App you or you can Cash App them. And if you got it in a credit card form, you can go take it anywhere as long as you got money on that motherfucker. It's like a debit card, but without really, well, you got to have your email. You know what I'm saying? So got to have some kind of information, an ID, identification, an IP number, something. You know, so, they going to find out. I don't know where Flagler County is. I'm not sure. It might be in Florida. Don't quote me on that. But if anybody's in the chat that want to know where Flagler County is, man, pull that up. I want to know where Flagler County is, so I know not to fuck up out that way too. But I ain't. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying. But I want to know if anybody, Google where Flagler County is. To
go to your bag and look for your identification.
The officer searched her bag and located a fake Georgia driver's license with a different name.
Why give permission to go through your bag, especially when you know you lying and got something to hide? Why are you giving permission when you know you're lying?
It's called stupid. It's called being in Lamont. That's the upper echelons of dummy, is to be a Lamont. Shout out to Damian Wilson, God rest his soul. He played that role for, actually it's a household name back in the day. But in the Black Bottom Roscast realm, being a Lamont is right below the dun is the top, the creme de la creme of fucking idiotic, stupid ass shit as far as how you move out here. Lamont is right up under that, but she a Lamont. She ain't a dun. Well, I don't know, but we gonna see. She might be, but we still gotta hold this bitch accountable. Anyway, let's go.
That's you, because it's got the same tattoo underneath the neck.
There you go.
That's you right there.
That's not a real ID.
Oh, it's not.
That is a Georgia ID.
Okay.
Now, things are going to...
Now you look like the liar that you are. You got fake IDs. You got all these different names and shit. And you gave the folk permission to look through your bag. I mean, they're going to find out who you are regardless. There's going to be no way to avoid it.
Start unraveling here. All right?
Yeah.
No, they're not. I'm telling you, they're not.
So why would you carry a fake ID with you?
You say, why would I carry? Get into a if you look in the back of I got kicked out with my regular ID. If you look in the back of my car, that's all I have is stripper clothes. Stripper clothes.
To work?
Right.
Why would you need to get a fake ID if you're 29 years old to work in a...
because she out here bad, man. She got a piece somewhere. That was probably who that was on the phone. Like, hey, bitch, get out there and get that money. No, I don't need you on the track. I need you at that motherfucker club. And I need you to call Slivey and Rocco at this number and make it and get up in there and make my money, bitch. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry, I'm not good at the P talk. I just ain't me. I mean, I'm who I am. I grew up in an era where I did see a lot of them back in the day. Did witness a lot of the black exploitation movies that depicted that image in our community so brashly and so boldly, and we wonder why we are in the state of existence that we are right now, because a lot of it hasn't changed. But I do respect the game, and I do respect those that respect life. Everybody's going to do something. Everyone has a vice. Everyone has a habit. Everyone has a kink, as y'all say. Whatever the fuck that means. I'm old, so these new words that y'all be coming up with, that that finger shit y'all be doing now, that irks the fuck out of me. But oh fuck, I don't even want to say it, but you know what I'm saying? That clock it shit, I hate that. Fucking hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I hated that as worse as I hated what was that other one back in the day? Fleek. And when I looked up what the meaning of fleek meant, I was starting to laugh at you motherfuckers, because fleek meant that you slightly farted and like liquid came out your bum hole. So all y'all that was out there saying y'all was fleeking, really y'all was leaking. Okay. Y'all wasn't y'all was fleeking, but y'all was really leaking. You know what I'm saying? Y'all was out there on that bullshit.
Bullshit. A bullshit. A bullshit. A bullshit.
All right. Anyway, let's go.
Gonna strip club.
Right.
The name.
Right.
I got kicked out under my name. Under Trishana, I got kicked out of a strip club under my name.
And was that New York or Florida?
York.
New York.
Yeah.
I don't
even know I had that.
This is the worst. This is the name of this video, y'all. I just now made it up. I'll be watching these videos and I'll be naming them while I watch them. This is the worst case of freestyle lying I have ever seen. I've never seen nothing like this, and she just naturally just flows over with another. This woman is just used to lying.
I didn't even mean to bring it.
Okay, there's many strip clubs in New York. Why would, if you got strip?
God damn it! You can't make this shit up.
See, but men are so labeled in the black community as being shiesty, conniving, and carnivorous, so to speak. But where do you think they get it from? Where do you think they learn those certain kind of tactics from? Someone had to teach them something. Someone had to show them something. Someone had to inspire them. And I ain't trying to hear this bullshit. Well, it's there be some corrupt motherfucking bros out here. They be corrupting them young men and shit like that. All right, cool. But where's the source come from? See, we always want to point at the tip of the spear, but you don't never want to look at what's at the bottom of the rod, so to speak. You don't want to know where it started from. Something has to start from something, or nothing would happen. You know, just like nothing from nothing leaves nothing. But all right, but anyway, let's go.
Kicked out of one. Why couldn't you work at another one?
Right.
It sounds like I'm lying, but I'm not.
Yeah.
The officers continued to urge her to reveal her true identity.
Guys, if ever somebody tells you some shit that sounds like a lie,
she had the immediate gall to say it sounds like it's lying, but it's not. If someone has to say some shit like some repugnant ass low IQ bullshit like that, man, yeah, you bet you lying. God damn. Don't ever fucking get put on a stand. You gonna fold. You gonna fold like a pita bread. It sounds like, it might sound like I'm lying, but I'm not. Right. Oh, I know her mama's real proud of her. Her daddy, you know, her dad, well, her other daddy, you know, the one that was on the phone, I guess. This shit is crazy. This shit is wild right here. But all right, let's go.
It most certainly is. Why would the truth sound like a lie? Now, sometimes there may be some one-offs there, but more often than not, it's a lie.
Identity, but she kept providing false information. They eventually decided to use facial recognition software to identify her. That was when the truth was gradually unraveled.
Definitely her. Yeah, this is what I've heard. This is definitely.
Do you have any tattoos on your face?
Yeah.
Can I see it, please? No driver's license. We can't prove who you are.
And I'm not being rude to you guys.
Hold on. You have a fictitious ID, which is a felony in the state of.
Hey, you know what she thinking right now? She like, oh shit. Don't get caught in, what was it, Faulkner County? I still have not heard anybody in the chat pull Faulkner County up. I'm just over here commentating on this, and I haven't gotten to my phone yet to even research it. But I gotta know where the fuck Faulkner County is, because I'm damn sure it's gonna be like the biggest square that you've ever seen rolling through that town. Hell, fuck that. We can't smoke cigarettes? No, we gonna wait till we go to the next county over. They might bitch about cigarettes. I ain't trying to hear. You know how sometimes Newports, because how they made and shit like that, might smell like weed. Motherfuckers in the hood know who I'm talking about and what I'm talking about as far as the Newports. It's been plenty of time motherfuckers like, damn, you smoke weed? Like, nah, I'm fucking smoking a Newport. Damn, fuck. I don't need that. I don't need no Red Bull in my shit. You know, Red Bull, you know how they got us labeled. Red Bull equals Hennessy somewhere close by. Nope. Don't need it. I'll be good. Arkansas. Yeah. I just saw a fucking body cam from the lead attorney that it was some assailant in a body cam that had a stolen Yukon with a fucking plate on there from a whole nother state from like 13 years ago and was on a high speed chase with the law. I mean, this video, I might review it later on another day, but this video was straight out of Grand Theft Auto. I swear to God, that shit was crazy. It ended with him getting arrested, but just the fact of the matter is of what the fuck he was doing, how he was driving, and the risk that he was taking with other people's lives was crazy. It was off the hook. But anyway, let's go.
State of Florida. So let's sit in the back of there before we put you on handcuffs. We call DCF to come take your child. Right now, you're not free to leave. You're being detained.
After positively identifying her as Charlotte Mills,
this is some Charlotte activity. Okay.
the officer attempted to arrest her for providing a false name and possessing counterfeit identification cards. Charlotte tried to prevent the arrest by holding onto her child.
Hey, Charlotte. You want to stop playing the game?
Here we go. Here we go.
Game you've been playing
You
with
hear the baby? The baby knows. The jig is up, mama.
the last 2 hours.
Charlotte Mills is your name. So now you're under arrest. Step on out for me.
Oh, man. Here we go. Oh, man. Come on, man.
Car for the moment.
The first teacher of the child out here doing what she's doing right now. And you don't think that situations like this, in scenarios like this, that you see with the mama, Charlotte, yo, what's going on? It's J3 again. Shout out to you for tuning in. Hope you like, share, and subscribe if you are new. Where you from? Tell me where you at. You at the Black Bottom Roscast, and I'm your host, Ross Lee. But as I was saying, the first teacher of the child. And this is what you're doing. This is how you moving. And this is not even a race thing that we're even talking about right now. Okay. This is an epidemic across the country with certain people, certain ethnicities, certain backgrounds, certain neighborhoods, certain lifestyles. Okay. And all I'm here to do is to bring the balance of it all. Because if we're going to talk about one, we got to talk about the other. We're not just going to just put everything in a perspective of, oh, men are just evil. Men are just misogynists. Men are just chauvinists. I know a lot of people don't know that word came out before misogynist. But anyway, men are barbaric. Men are this, men are that. But who's the first teacher? What up, Big Mike? Shout out to you. Who's the first teacher of these children? Who's the first teacher of these boys that become men? Who's the first teacher of these girls that become women? Oh yeah, we can go back and forth all day with the tick for tack bullshit. It was well the men wasn't around. I had to do this and I had to do that. Okay, great. And you chose that chick. I'm gonna make a perfect example. You chose to lay down with that man that y'all didn't have an understanding with as far as y'all locking in, gonna get married, any of these things. Y'all was just humping on each other. He caught you at a good time. You caught him when he was on a little hustle or whatever the fuck. Especially if you want to talk about black men, 17% of the black men in poverty-stricken communities make 73 to 74% of the black women mothers. So it ain't all. But anyway, let's go.
But you've been lying to us. Ma'am, come out of the car. I told you. I've been lenient with you. I've been trying.
What do you think
going backwards trying to help you out?
Right. What do you think is
I
going
did
to
not
happen?
want to take you to jail. This is an action. This is as a direct result of your actions. So you're going to jail.
I have a warrant anyway.
With Miami-Dade picked up only. Pretty silly, right? Prostitution act, and they'll only extradite you if you're in Miami.
See?
That's how silly you are. Step out of
You see that? She wouldn't have even went to jail. She wouldn't even. Let's keep watching. You'll put this baby through this. Man.
No.
Yeah, man.
Wait, that was an hour ago.
That's crazy. Nah, stop shaking him like that.
All right, step out.
I'm on my baby God. I'm on my baby God.
Nah, man.
Charlotte, step out of the car. Step out of the car.
I'm on my baby God. I'm on my baby God.
You're about to earn no more charges. You need to step out of the car.
Please, God. Please.
All right, what this is showing me, man, is that she cares about herself more than she cares about her child. This doesn't say this woman don't care about her baby. I'm sure she does. But
she don't care about the mental state of this baby. Because see, the worst thing you can do with babies that small is do a lot of hollering, have a lot of noise around, shake them in a violent manner in its home. They're not fully developed brain-wise and body structure-wise. Even besides that, even when they are to that point, you're still not supposed to do that shit. I literally hate seeing children get traumatized from adult behavior. It irks my soul. Seriously, I mean, and this comes from something deeper than poverty. This comes from something deeper than having bad luck. You know, I'm telling you, more and more, I'm seeing that what I talked about years ago should have really been put into play. And it's not necessarily meaning that, well, people need to go to counseling or seek psychiatrist. No. I don't believe in that. I don't believe that that is the end all be all for what's going on exclusively in the Black community. I believe it's something that should be done deeper than that. I believe it should be, of course, counseling, proper analyzing each case. It's going to be a long road for all that. You know, we've been conditioned in such a way that I don't know if it's going to change for us collectively. I mean, yeah, you'll probably have some that get things together and do what needs to be done the right way and try your best to, you know, live in this fucking world we live in. But it's hard with all this shit out here, with all this kind of fuckery that you see out here. You know, there's definitely help that needs to be made. But therapy is not really, it's a part of it, but it's not the end all be all. I'll say that.
This moment, she cares about herself more than this child possibly getting hurt, this child being traumatized by watching her go through this. She's more concerned with avoiding accountability than this boy not being traumatized.
Step out.
Please.
Step out. Charlotte, step out. Step out. Charlotte, you need to step out. Charlotte, step out. Come on. Come on. Step out of the car. We're being patient with you. Hands behind your back. Put your child down. Put the baby down.
We're not gonna take him. We're not gonna take him.
Put your hands behind your back.
Don't resist.
Put your hands behind your back. Do it now.
Okay.
We've been lenient with you. You would have got a ticket and gone home.
Jesus, man.
You would have went home.
You would have went home. Yeah, you can give your son a kiss.
Okay.
I've been doing this 14 years. Do you have anything on you stuffed up anywhere?
No.
Okay, have a seat. All right, what is this that you just dropped out of your?
Oh shit! Come on!
Your real ID.
Oh, come on!
Hey, look what I found. You gave us the real.
What's that there?
Claim for him?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Scoot over. I'm gonna have him sit next to you. Scoot over.
What am I going to be charged with initially? And it's so crazy because
I mean, even this they don't have to do. They don't have to have that little boy sit in there with his mama. You know what I mean? Like, so I can kind of appreciate that they care enough about this child. But it's still like, this is the mama, man. You know what I mean? So what's she gonna be doing on the whole ride to the station?
only lying so I could stay with my baby and still get taken.
Listen to me. I tried working with you.
No, yeah, I don't understand that.
I tried, and I knew you were lying to me, but you kept going for a warrant. They're not even going to extradite in Flagler County.
I didn't know because my son. I'm just trying to stay with my baby. It's just me and my son. I don't have nothing, nobody else for real. It's just me and my baby.
And listen, I believe that she don't have nobody else. That's very possible. But before you get to having sympathy, because you see somebody like this and you see a baby right next to her and you see her crying, the human emotion is to have sympathy and empathy and compassion. But let me remind y'all that many of these people that we watch on body cam have fought long and hard to be in the situation that they're in.
Because they don't want to do no better. They don't want to act better. They don't want to read the room. They moving in low IQ. Like my man AC say, man, the rat community. You know, the rat fucking community. And brothers, you gotta stop procreating with women like this. You gotta stop. You young brothers, tell you this right now. Don't get caught up in no bullshit with no nothing type of person that don't want to be accountable. You gotta hold this bitch gotta be held accountable. They doing a favor even doing this. They would have wasted more time and had that child taken away from her in some states. How this all went down? Let this been somewhere like Ohio, Miami, fucking Illinois. Fuck it. It'd been on like popcorn. You know, but let's scurry through this because this is a pretty long one. Oh shit. I'm seeing some heck shit. So I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna start it right here.
Which she hid in her underwear.
All right, son, we're gonna grab him. He's going. What are you grabbing?
I'm not grabbing nothing.
You just dropped something. What was that?
I'm not grabbing.
Fake ID cards.
Right. Dude,
Oh shit. Here we go.
I can't need to just get back to my baby.
Hey, look, this girl right here, you know, it's been some people pillow talking, telling her shit. Boy, she about to tell everything. She will tell everything. You hear me?
As the officers attempted to secure her child in a car seat for safe transport, they observed Charlotte attempting to conceal an object.
Geez.
The object later turned out to be her phone, which she hid in her underwear.
All right, Sean, we're going to grab him. He's going with. What do you got? What are you grabbing?
I'm not grabbing nothing.
You just dropped something. What was that?
I'm not grabbing anything.
Step out.
You see what I'm saying, man? They done brought the baby back there to accommodate her, but all the baby's going to witness is his mom do more dumb shit. Screaming and crying and hollering. That's all this baby's going to see is his mama in distress. It ain't good.
Step out.
Like, step
out. Deshauna, step out.
This is ridiculous.
No,
you're ridiculous. Fuck you talking about? This is ridiculous. No, bitch, you ridiculous. See what happens when you hold some women accountable? How they act, how they move, how they want to deflect. Say you going to Canada. Hey, I heard Toronto's the shit. Ontario's a little better, but Masasaki, where my man Sinful used to be at, God rest his soul, that shit was eloquently looking. So yeah, I came up with a word, you know. But anyway, yeah, man, come on, man. For what? This why do we do this? Why do we do this? But anyway.
What are you doing?
What am I doing? I don't have anything.
You had something in your hand there.
I don't have.
We're taking you. Come on, buddy.
I don't have nothing.
Come on.
And now y'all just being.
There you go. There you go.
Kick this door again, you're going to be hobbled. You understand that?
What is hobbled?
Okay, you'll find out.
Get your feet in there.
You'll find out.
I'm going to be a prick now. Okay, my feet is in there.
All the way in. All the way in.
Don't please. Turn your body camera.
It is.
Don't. Wait.
Whoa. You want to try to bite me?
Bite you.
You try to bite me?
Whoa. Oh shit, we got action. We got action. It's already that. It's bibbity bop. You going with this cop, but now you really going to jiggity jail. You big dummy. Hold the now she's a dun-dun-dun. Yeah, she's definitely a dun-dun-dun. Fuck Lamont. She didn't surpass this shit. I just thought she was just stupid. They don't care. And you wonder why these young boys are acting the way they act. They act so feminine. They act so overly aggressive. They have no impulse control. They have no conflict resolution skills. They have nothing. Sometimes you just need to walk away. They can't even do that. They can't take an ass whooping because they don't know how to fight. And if they do fight, they fight like they mama, like windmilling and shit. They don't know how to fucking square up and punch, throw a punch. Shit's crazy, man. Anyway.
I want to bite you.
You want to bite me?
No, I told you to turn your body camera.
My body cam is on.
Ma'am, we see you looking crazy on the Heavy Gan channel, and this officer is putting the palm of the patriarchy to good use.
Exactly.
No, that's more of the palm of that she getting that GD whooping, you know, that gangster disciple whooping, Mickey Cobra whooping, she getting that Blackstone Ranger whooping, she getting LA Quip whooping, blood whooping. She getting Gaylord whooping. You know, y'all don't know nothing about Gaylords. But anyway, this shit ain't looking good. But anyway, let's go.
I did not bite you.
You tried to bite me.
I just bit you?
You tried.
Serious?
Hey, let's tighten her.
You just grabbed me.
Yeah, I told you to do something.
Yeah, you just grabbed me. And when I turned around,
grab you, bitch.
like, is you serious? I just bit you? Hey, I do all this in front of my baby.
Baby's in the car.
Yeah. You do this.
I believe you just said I just tried to bite you.
You did.
Crazy. Why would I bite you?
Biscuit head asshole.
You just put my face in the
All right.
ground. Why would I bite
How
you?
you acting?
Sit up. Get up. Sit up. right, hold on.
Double been biscuit head
I
ass.
think
What you
this
doing,
is
man?
like an advanced stage of the dead weight game. That's what I think. I think this young lady is a dead weight game veteran. You see that? Very passive. She just, I mean, shit. This is there are levels in everything.
Cause see, this is why. Oh God, I've said this in so many videos. Yeah, I said the Gaylords. Yeah, I'm going way back there. You know, Gaylord whooping, Latin Knights whooping, Latin Kings whooping, Devil Disciples whooping. Yeah, all that. Yeah. What y'all know about the Gaylords? Anyway, I saw a documentary not too long ago. And hey man, I can't help it. I can't help it. But this is why I could have not ever been a policeman. And I would have to deal with men or women like this. Because it would just so happens that I would have a partner by the last name of Johnson. And next thing you know, you see her, Johnson. And I'm not trying to incite nothing, but it might be some stories. 500,000 pounds of power. But anyway, more than that. Don't be questioning sometimes on the news when they say they found some random person like on the side of a road, you know, like all broke up and got crack sprinkled over them. I mean, just understand. I'm not dealing with this shit, man. I'm not about to keep going back and forth with you. I understand that the policemen, you know, they've been having a bad rap over the years in certain cases and certain spaces and things like that. But this is why the Ben Crumps, the fraudulent crime rate would not exist anymore. No, it would not. Because the minute they see me on the scene, fuck, that's fucking Officer Lee. You know how you get down. He don't even give a fuck about suspension because he wipes out crime so hard. They weigh the pros and the cons. It's like, all right, officer, I'm in internal affairs, right? I'm sorry. I'm gonna let this go for a second because we didn't see enough. We didn't see enough of this bullshit. I am tired of this shit. I'm tired of looking at her and her wig and her actions and all that, right? I just can't do it because see what would happen is that I would be in internal affairs like probably every other week. But what they would do, they would probably weigh the fact that, yeah, I know that you did like beat that motherfucker upside the head and like dumped him head first in the garbage can. I understand about the crack part. But damn, you did like wipe out like a whole, you know, block of, people that, serve narcotics. I'm like, yeah, because a lot of them I knew from back in the day and I knew their kids and I knew what the fuck they were doing. Yeah, I told them back then before I went to the academy, y'all better clean up, bro. Why? What you say it take? Yeah, I would take a couple of weeks. I would get suspended. Man, look, man. In a year's time, if I was ever an officer dealing with this kind of madness that you see out here in these streets, I would get probably suspended 10 times a year. But I will always still get these awards. Because I'm not going to be playing with you. I'm not about to sit here and be jaw jacking and talking for hours and hours. No, I'm going to hold you bitches accountable, men and women. Yes, the fuck I am. Sure, the fuck I am. Anyway, that was crazy and retarded. But here we go again. We got some more shit going on. The top 5 current trends that Keisha's follow behind Becky, according to the feminist movement, right? Another situation where we just gotta hold that bitch accountable. Who told you black women to get involved in the feminist movement? Who told y'all that y'all was so oppressed that you couldn't stay with your black man back in the day? You know, in the Meemaw days and, you know, the days before then. Who told y'all had to like band up with Becky and them to get some kind of independence? Hey, I mean, it is what it is, man. But the cool thing about this video, AC breaks down a lot of history and a lot of knowledge behind this for those that don't really know about the real history of the feminist movement and why our black sisters are moving and acting the way they are in a collective in our society. Not all, but a large majority of you are. And even the ones that might not do the most that these other extremists are. Some of you other ladies, y'all have traits. So you really need to really look yourself in the mirror. Like you want us to be held accountable on what we do and how we move as men, which that's understandable. See, a man can own up to his bullshit. A man can own up to his shortcomings. A man can own up to his mistakes. He said black women knew the racist background of the feminist movement. Maybe they rethink their decision. You know, we can only hope. But who's to say that might happen even if they do hear this? And then for those that are watching, please subscribe if you're not. Like I said, I did my analytics earlier today. 60% of you people that watch me are not subscribed. So please, if nothing else, hit the like button. Let me know you in the house. Hit the subscribe. Interact with the chat. Embrace the Black Bottom Roscast. Like I say, this is for educational purposes. This is not just something that's, you know, I'm a man, I'm a woman hater, you know, I'm a part of the Women Haters Club. No, this ain't the Little Rascals. Okay, this is grown man shit. And shout out to all those that do watch me in a certain age range and demographics. For the most part, I got a lot of the demographics between 24 and 65 plus and everything in between. It's pretty even. You know, it's pretty even. I know I'm getting a lot more listeners from the realm of 45 to like 54. That's like my top demographic that watches my channel. So shout out to y'all. Off subject. That's hair shiny. Oh, okay. Well, thank you. You're taking good care of her. Try my best. You know, at least I ain't looking ashy. But also, you know, of course, being in, you know, I'm a male-centered channel. About 70+% of my audience is male, which, you know, actually about 60, the high 60% of my listeners is male. And no, it's 70+%, and it's 27% of you ladies that tune in. So at least, you know, the ladies are listening. I hope you don't get offended and just stop listening. You know, just understand that, you know, like I said, if we don't have these adult discussions, we're not going to learn anything. And if you're just going to just work off your emotions instead of understanding that if we move a certain way, yeah, I knew it was somewhere around it. But if we moved a certain way, we need to get better at interacting with each other, have a better relations with each other, vet each other a little better, and understand the plight of what's going on today and this dysfunction that's going on in our community, in the black community. I know my man AC calls it the rat community. He has his own views of it, and that's fine. But I still call it the black community because we are black, and we got to do better. But anyway, let's go. Let's go on with the video.
Salute. So, what did I say I was going to put together? I said I'm going to put together current trends that Keisha followed behind Becky. Now, this comes from the brothers in the Patreon. This is put together from the brothers in the Patreon. Salute to the brothers in the Patreon. And we're just basically talking about how Keisha just follows Becky in everything. Like all the trends that you see, Becky done started a lot of these trends, and Keisha done follow right behind him. Now, this is part 1, 1 to 5, top 5. For the answers, when it comes to what they follow, right? The brothers, this is entirely from the brothers. The number 1 I put there myself. Let me see. Is it in here? Because I'm looking at the response from the brothers right now. I'm looking at the response right now, and I don't see the number 1. That's why I'm putting that number 1. I'm surprised they didn't put that in the comment section. But you'll see what number 1 is. So let's get to number 5. Septum rings. That's right. We going there. Now, septum rings date back thousands of years. We know that. We just so we don't have those guys in the comments say, oh, septum rings been around for thousands of years, AC. Yeah. Septum rings has been out for thousands of years across indigenous and Hindu cultures. But in the West, they gained popularity in the 1970s and 1980s amongst punk and goth subcultures before experiencing a massive mainstream fashion resurgence in the early to mid 1910s. Always been a Becky thing. Gothic Becky, Becky with all the tattoos, with all the piercings, with all the, the indigenous wear, as I would call it. This has always been a Becky thing. Always been a Becky thing. The dark.
Yeah, there are some cultures that did in fact have that, but it got really popular here in the States in the reassurance of the whole image from certain people that lived certain lifestyles, that ran in certain cliques, that wanted to exude a certain image, so to speak. Yeah, but these ain't Mayans. These not Aztecs. You know what I'm saying? Show not Shawnees. Nor are they ancient Hindus or some Africans, because there are some African tribes that had that similar image. This is taken on a whole nother perception of what it stood for originally. See, everything that has been historically looked at and honored in their culture and in certain ethnic groups' history has been demonized. I said demonified, sorry. Demonized here in the West. It's been demonized. It's not the same thing. I'm not going to look at it as such. Okay? In some cultures, they would have the actual, what Tupac used to wear as far as the earring stud on the left side. That was a thing. Wearing the stud ring on the left side in some cultures showed their masculinity, where in some cultures wearing the stud earring on the left nostril of a woman's nose showed their femininity. All right. You saw a man wearing a stud earring on the left side of their nose, you already know what it is. I'm just trying to tell you. But if you saw it on the left side, all right, all right, we can accept that. But I stopped even wearing that. Yeah, that's West Indian. Yeah, I know exactly. I know some history. Thank you. But anyway, let's go.
Dark, moody Becky, wearing all black. The world is falling apart, Becky. Everything is going wrong. Everything is bad. Society is bad. Society is warped. Everything is doomed. You met those Beckys before. Gloomy, dark Becky. Vampire Becky. But it was never complete. You couldn't just have on all black nail polish and then, eyeliner without the septum ring. You needed the septum ring to complete the look. For Becky, the septum ring. That was always them. Always them. That was them in the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, 2000s, 2010s. And then all of a sudden, you started seeing this. This is what we started seeing. Septum rings. And that's not the only thing we started seeing when it came to these septum rings. What we started also seeing is the reason why they was wearing these septum rings. And it's the same reason why they wear the wigs. Same exact reason. Brad worship. I did a story over a week ago. Y'all remember the story. The title was Bottom Shelf Brad had her sleeping in a van and then he left her, right? She was with this Brad, right? They was living in a van, and this van at one point, the van temperature reached 138 degrees. And they had went and I guess traveled somewhere else. And then he was living in a van with her and she was struggling with him and he bounced. He bounced. I said, where do you find anywhere where a black male is living in a van with a Keisha and he's not called all kinds of bums? He's not called the loser. They're not telling him he should get a job. In her video, the comment section, you saw none of that. You saw none of that. You didn't see them calling him a bum. You didn't see him calling him a loser. None of that. They act like the situation never existed with him because Brad can get away with anything when it comes to them, especially when it comes to not being able to provide. They were cooking in that van. And not only that, not only were they cooking in that van, right? The van, she paid for the van. She paid for it. She paid for the van. That's not even a van he paid for. She paid for the van. So not only did she pay for the van, pay for the gas, even bought the food that they were eating in there. He wasn't working. He wasn't doing anything. He didn't get a job. And he just bounced on her. So the septum ring also means Brad worship. When you see Akeisha out here, proclaiming her love for Brad, usually you'll find a septum ring and a badly fitted wig, a bad fitted wig, fitted like a fitted cap, fitted.
And just to be more in depth about this conversation, yeah, true indeed. It was West Indian, Native American, Aztec, Mayan, even African traditions of those times. That was a representation of being a warrior in your tribes at those times, whether you were men or female at those times. It wasn't until the Caucasians here that was in the goth and the punk rock into the rebellious mindset of life is when they took it and warped it into something that they incorporated in their little culture. Okay, well, the West Indies is a beauty thing. Okay, that's I can get that. West India, yeah, I can get that because those women they move a totally different way than all these others that we just are discussing right now. Because they totally under the protection of their men, so they don't try to do shit, but be a wife and take care of the family. That's all they do. So it's a whole different number with them. A lot of them, you wouldn't see it anyway because they'd cover their face. But shit, lost my place. But anyway, no. When those in particular groups took it in their community, in the Brad and the Becky communities, with the goth and the punk rock and shit like that, who followed up behind Keisha, Bunquisha, Laquanda, Wanda, Latoya, Latonia. Shit. I mean, it is what it is with that, and now it has morphed into this subculture of this today's thinking of expression, I suppose. It's more of an expression statement with you guys than a cultural or historical statement, and that's crazy. But anyway, let's go.
Fitted wig, and that's usually the archetype. That's usually the setup. That's usually the get up when it comes to the Brad worshipers. Okay, now this should segue right into number 4, since we already talking about since we already here, right? Let's talk about it. Number 4, van life. Now, when van life hit, social media, we all knew about van life. We all knew about how people would rather go on these road trips. That's nothing new.
Man, but fuck all that shit. I am not gonna personally, if I'm gonna do anything to this extent, I'm going to achieve an RV. That means it has a kitchen, it has a bathroom, it has a shower, it has a bed set up, it has certain things set up in that RV like it's like a mobile home on wheels. If I would ever do some shit like that. Right. I mean, like, come on, man. I'm not about to live in an actual van. I don't give a fuck how big that van is. We're gonna use the bathroom in. Wait. We ain't gonna use the bathroom in. We gonna wash ass at. Look, it's nothing wrong with wanting to just be free of like certain restrictions in life, right? Like rent, shit like that. But I will say this: to have an RV, of course, you gotta have income because the amenities in that RV don't last forever. I've ran across and I've done business with a lot of RV repair owners. They love their job. Okay. And they do good work from what I'm seeing of RVs in case certain shit happens. You got to pay for that shit. You know what I'm saying? But some people like to have the RVs while they already got something else going on as well. Like they already got a place, like a residence, a house, or whatever the hell that is. They use the RVs. That's what you really use to travel because you want you and your family to be comfortable. And then also, hell, it cuts on fucking getting hotels. So that's one aspect of spending that you ain't got to worry about. I ain't got to worry about no hotels. If we want to stack up our RV with groceries, we got a stove, we got a little oven area right there. We got the refrigerator right there. We got our cabinet space for whatever we want to put in the cabinets right there. You can use the bathroom when you need to. You can take a shower, wash up how you need to, and sleep comfortably. This shit is remedial. In the short of thinking intelligently. The fuck? I want an RV because I like to travel. You say, all right, you want to go fishing and hunting? Oh, okay. Well, we see what's up with you. You know, see where you at with that. I had my little time with that, with the fishing and the hunting. But it is what it is. But if you're gonna live this kind of lifestyle, you gotta have certain things in a certain level of finances to keep this shit going. You can't be a fucking bum and think you're gonna live life righteous and comfortable living in a goddamn van. The fuck? But anyway, let's go.
And it wasn't exclusive to Brad and Becky neither, right? You had I seen black couples go on, van life, not van life, but van trips. As a kid, I seen them go on trips in the van and stuff like that, go cross country, I don't think they stayed in the van though. So maybe it wasn't van life. Maybe it wasn't because they were still going to hotels. They still was like, enough of the van going to hotels. But I still seen them, traveling vans. But when it hits social media, as far as like TikTok and YouTube and stuff like that, you've seen a lot of Brad's and Becky's go on vacation. Let me stress that again. Vacation in a van. That's what they were doing. They would go on vacation. They would take the van and they would, put supplies in there. And for maybe a week or maybe two, they're out on the road. They're out on the road for a week or maybe two. But after that, they're back home. They're back home. They wasn't, staying no longer than that. That's what we saw. We saw them traveling. We saw them taking pictures. They would go to lakes. They would go to, the Rocky Mountains. You see them going to the Rocky Mountains, just sightseeing, right? Keisha saw that and took it to a whole nother level. I did multiple videos on my other channel talking about van life Keisha, right? And, what they would do is, the decide to just live in a van because look. This is one of the videos I did. Look. The septum ring. Look. Anything not to be under the leadership of a black man.
None of that is looking just psychotic, man. Like, damn, why you gotta look like that? Why you gotta buck your eyes like that? Like, what are we in that lipstick? That shit ain't working. That shit ain't hitting, man. That's not popping in the streets, bro. I'm sorry. That's not happening in the hood. That's not, cracking, at the spot. This is crazy. I would walk past a woman looking like this and would laugh at her, like, bitch, what is wrong with you? You know what I'm saying? Like, the fuck. Anyway, let's go.
Anything. But what ends up happening is when they're not under the leadership of a black man and things start getting tough out there, right? They resort to living in a van. They take it to extreme measures, right? Living in a van, sometimes living in a car, right? And what ends up happening is they do these videos and try to pretend like this is like it's fun, like it's the life. No, you couldn't afford the rent. You got evicted, you got kicked out, and now you're in the streets. You're literally homeless. So
basically, how you gonna wash your ass? What if in the middle of the night, right? It's like 2-3 in the morning. You got your van parked off somewhere, in the cut where the police ain't gonna fuck with you, shit like that, right? What do you do when you got the bubble guts? What do you do when you gotta take a fucking shit? Like it's your stomach is like tightening up and your butt cheeks is clenching and you about to feel like you about to explode and shit. Like the fuck. Not the bean burrito, the motherfucking the shitty tacos from Taco Hell. I mean, what happens in the middle of the night when you out in the woods and there's bugs and fucking whatever out there? I mean, all that. When it's just gotta come through you. What do y'all do? What y'all hold it in? Y'all wait until like some. Do you run to an all night gas station, and with the hopes that they got open bathrooms and shit like that? They said the sliders be sliding. Gonna get the slide. Hey, diarrhea. You go into first and your pants begin to burst. Diarrhea. You slide in the second and you need some disinfectant. Diarrhea. You slide in the third and you have to drop a turd. Diarrhea. You go into home and your pants begin to foam. Diarrhea. People think it's funny, but it's only brown and runny diarrhea. That's a little bit. I'm telling my age. That's a little bit before y'all time. But anyway, let's go.
They was trying to make it look like this was all fun. This is something to do. When we know that, come on, you're living in a van. There's nothing comfortable about living in a van. Like they would make videos showing how they wash up in a van, how they use the bathroom in a van. And it's like, come on, this. Are you trying to make it look like a flex? Because we used to even look at the videos and see the dog. They had pets living in the van with them, and the pets didn't look so healthy. And
I literally saw this clip of this video where this broad was flexing. I forgot what state she was in, but she was flexing how some of the little hookups that she had in her little van, right? And right there, like in the back of her van, she had like a little hookup for where she can like put her liquor in, to like hang it up so she can have her alcohol in the van too, because she a lush fucking head and all this other shit. How you doing, man? It's all bad, man. Maybe they dump their bodies in the lakes of Minnetonka. Maybe a lot of them go to fucking Minnesota. I don't know. Lake Erie, maybe a couple go to Lake Michigan. I don't know. That's never been my thing. I gotta be somewhere where it's a fucking a commode somewhere, shower, a fucking sink, something. Shit, if nothing else. Hell, as long as I don't care if it's just the shower, the toilet, the sink, and the tub, and a microwave. I'll make that work. That's fine. As long as I can wash my motherfucking ass and lay the fuck down somewhere. But all this other shit, man, that is what it is, man. Shout out to the VN with God rest their soul. It was an interesting dive, but it was an interesting experience being a few times in that place. You know what I'm saying? It was wild, but anyway, let's go.
And it just it wasn't convincing. Didn't look like you was having a great time. But I want to show you something, right? Hold on, let me go to the part. Hold on. Let me show you something. Because, like I said, hold on.
Hold on.
Anything, look, septum ring. Oh, this is what she used for the bathroom.
That is some repugnant ass shit. So you got some hookup with this shit. I know you ladies know what this is. I don't really know what it's called, but she got it hooked up to some kind of container. So whereas is in the middle of the night, if she got to take a piss, she pop a squat on this motherfucker. Okay. He said they just need to take a swim with Jason in the Crystal Lake. Something shit. Hell, they already risking their lives, so fuck it, why not? But this is some nasty ass shit. So you're gonna take a piss, right? In whatever container that you contained it in, that you found some container to store this shit in, to take a piss. Do you leave it in the van, or do you actually exit the van during a time when you got to use it and dump it out? And then after you dump it out, what do you rinse it off with? That's my question. Fuck that you using this thing, being the fucking bum that you are. I mean, this is bum behavior. I mean, come on, it's fuck. What we talking about? But y'all want 6-figure men. Anyway, whatever. But what do you rinse it out with? And do you put it back in the van, or do you leave it outside? Maybe a wild coyote might take that motherfucker if you did. You fucking attracting all kind of animals and foxes and sheep and shit. I don't know. Whatever the fuck you had. It's just disgusting, man.
She used that for the bathroom right there. Come on, man. This ain't it. Look, septum ring. Anything not to be under the leadership of a black man, and you're out here chasing after Brad. You're out here following behind Becky, and I'm telling you, man, Becky runs them. All right, let's get to number 3. Dog mom. Go online, type in dog mom. Watch how many Beckys pop up. You might have a Keisha here and there. Go to image. Go to image. All you see is Becky's. That's it. This is Becky.
But what they gonna boil it in? What? Okay, so what they got like bottled water in there with a hot plate that's plugged up to some dangerous ass generator that you got in this condensed ass van to boil the water to do all that. You're gonna do all that at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. You know, this shit's fucking disgusting, man. These bitches is disgusting. That's remedial behavior. Like my man AC said, all to just do what the fuck y'all want to do. And guess what? I'm sorry to say this, ladies. A lot of y'all don't know what the fuck y'all out here doing by yourself. No, they don't. I mean, why should they? Why should they care? You know, you're living in a fucking van. That right there should tell you in itself that you a nasty ass motherfucker. Anybody that wants to do that. You want to impress me? Show me a RV. Show me one of them big ones. Not them half-size ones. Show me them large ones. The ones that look like a half of a fucking semi. You know what I'm saying? Hey, what's going on? But impress me with that. I would be more impressed if y'all was flexing like in these nice, you know, RVs that's hooked up real nice, got certain amenities up in them, you know, got the major hookup, got your ambiance in the interior part. You got a decent kitchen. You know, you don't need much, but you need a decent amount. Like, well, at least you got 2 eyes on it. You know, they got those. They got those with the 2 eyes, the microwave, you know, decent toilet facility with the shower, stuff like that. Show me some shit like that and I'll be impressed. Yeah, they got ones like that. It cost. Those cost. That's like a house on wheels for real, for real. You know, I didn't see motherfuckers get bitches them size and they just said to hell with it. They found a lot and totally remodeled it and made it like a house. I didn't seen videos like that, you know, where some of them have like bought in those big ones that needed work and they rebuilt them. I seen this one white couple hook theirs up so hot where they literally on the roof had a patio on it with a rail and everything, but it was stationary. They used that one not to travel. They used it for their residence. But they found they got on some I guess mobile certain mobile park home areas land are not as bad as everybody might think. Maybe the rednecks and some of, you know, them motherfuckers in the swamps and shit, but there are some that you can find that is pretty decent land. Yeah, I'm telling you. I saw that video a while ago. I could probably pull it back up. You know, might have to check that out because I'm telling you, they hooked that motherfucker up. And because they was just getting together. It was a young couple. They were starting off in life, and that's what they wanted to do. Matter of fact, once they finished building it and getting it set up, he proposed to her. You know, he proposed to her on that in particular video that I saw. So that was pretty cool too, on top of the roof. You know what I'm saying? So that shit was hot. But yeah, impressed me doing shit like that. You know,
Becky's thing. It's always been Becky's thing, especially with the small dogs, right? First of all, I didn't even know there was a happy National Dog Mom Day. I just found that out. I didn't even know that existed. Happy National Dog Mom Day. But that's always been Becky thing. Always on television, movies. We saw Becky not just in real life. We saw it on on television. We saw it in movies. We seen it on posters. This was a Becky thing. It's always been a Becky thing. Like a lot of trend in fashion came from movies, right? You've seen a lot of these women will go to movie theaters or see a picture and see the women up there and wonder what they were wearing just based off of them being in the movie itself, right? So you'll see a lot of these trends was picked up through movies, through art, through entertainment, right? You had these Becky's with these dogs long ago, man. I'm talking about long ago. This movie right here is called My Man Godfrey. This is Alex Brady. This movie was in 1936. This is Lisa Douglas in a movie called Green Acres. She had a Yorkshire. That's a terrier named Mignon. Hold on. There's more. Here you go. This is a movie that came out in 1956 called Deadlier Than a Male. Here's another one. This movie was called Love in the Afternoon, 1957. Yeah, from back then to even current times with these Legally Blonde movies with Reese Witherspoon, it's always been Becky's and these dogs, especially these little dogs. BBLs. Now, before y'all say anything, this comes strictly from the brothers in the Patreon, and they have a point. This is what they said in the Patreon. They said that the BBL culture started from fake big boo Becky's. If you think about it, right? It comes cosmetic surgery culture was born from Becky, which is true. Lip injections, Botox, facelifts, etc. All Becky culture indoctrinated by Keisha, right? I'm reading actually from what the brothers are saying in the comment section, right? And it makes sense. This does make sense because before we saw anything with BBLs, we didn't see Keisha out there, getting augmentations. We didn't see them getting surgery.
No, you didn't see that, especially back in the 80s and the 90s, because the women in our community then, they were proud of how they looked. A lot of them were more in shape. A lot of them ate better. I mean, there's a lot of things that's changed in society since then, But yeah, now back then, women didn't like you looking at their ass. You know what I'm saying? They rather for them to wear certain clothing that was somewhat conceal it where you didn't know that they was packing like that. I mean, some did, but for the most part, a lot of them didn't. And you didn't find out until you really got to that moment of truth. And you're like, oh shit, you holding like that? The fuck? Okay. Booty clapping sounds. Triple time. Anyway, yeah. But this shit's gone crazy. But all right, let's go.
We were fine with the way they were looking. So if we were fine how they were look, remember we never had anything negative to say about how the way they look, except from attachments like weaves, too much makeup, But as far as their bodies, black men never complained about it. Black men actually looked at their bodies and thought that their bodies was the best looking bodies when it came to Maria and Becky. Whether we were right or wrong, that's how we looked at it. We never shamed or said anything about their bodies, right? We wasn't caring about them having these disproportionate levels of curves when it came to their frames, because we was cool with a little shape. If you had a little bubble, we was cool with that. We was cool if you had no buns. As long as you look cute, we wasn't tripping off of that. So it wasn't us that made them go out there and get these surgeries at all. We wasn't saying you need this. We wasn't saying you need that. So where did it come from? Where did it come from? Dolly Parton was ridiculous, walking with 2 hot air balloons in front of you. But this is where they get it from, because they wasn't getting surgeries back then. They saw Becky's getting surgeries, because Brad had, here's the thing. Brad was never into buns like that. If I don't know if y'all remember, Brad didn't really care for buns. He didn't care if Becky had hips and had buns. He wasn't checking for that. He was checking for the cans. That was his thing. His things was the cans. You know what I mean? So I don't know. Like once,
and he's not lying. As long as he had a Becky on his arm that had a pretty face, nice hair, had a slim build, and these big ass tatas and decent legs that could wear some heels, he didn't give a fuck about everything else. Just, man, yeah, that's just their thing. It's here recently now that society has evolved the way it is. Now a lot of them are more along the lines of saying that they like the whole package. But hell, it was a time where even some of the women in their community, as far as the Beckys, that was far in between, that was heavily proportioned, more than the average Becky. They used to call them fat. But the brothers, in the community, they were like, hey, come on in. And they didn't care. Even some of the slightly obese women. That's why it's a lot. That's another video for another time. But anyway, let's go.
Once they started, once Becky started realizing that Brad is really into the cans, you started seeing average Beckys. See, the average Becky started getting these implants. When they started getting these implants, they started, attracting these Brads. If Brads is in the bigger cans, they started getting them. So now again, like I said before, when it came to black men really didn't care if she didn't have this like this humongous, backside, right? If she did, right? Yeah, they would look, they would stare, but they didn't really care too much about it, right? As long as she had a nice frame, as long as she had a nice shape, right? So when Keisha started going for this look, this ridiculous look, having this huge backside, you know what that came from? That came from video vixens. That came from video vixens. This is who they was trying to look like. If y'all remember her name is Buffy the Body, right? She was like one of the first curvier video vixens.
Remember Buffy the Body, y'all? I know a lot of us men do. But anyway, I'm trying to see where this part at. What I need to see. Hold on.
Or bear? Would you rather be stuck in a forest With a man or bear?
Yeah.
Now, this this video is from a TikTok account by the name of Screenshot HQ, I believe. And I looked them up. They're a media group in England, right? England. The agency is in London. And when I saw this, the reason why, it got so much traction, beyond TikTok is because on TikTok, the video, generated 21 million views, right? And immediately a bunch of Beckys started coming out talking about how they support her choosing the bear, right? A bunch of Beckys, they support her choosing a bear. And then what do you see? What did you see after that? I'm telling you, Keisha is ran by Becky. I'm telling you this, man. They run them. Even Becky's that's not even from this country runs them. Now, immediately, right after that, look, immediately.
Understand how scary it is to exist as a woman in this world where you are constantly being preyed upon by men and not
man versus bear.
Yeah, this shit.
I know what I'm talking about, black men. When I say Becky runs them, I'm not saying it just to be saying they run them. Anything that Becky say, anything that Becky do, they follow right behind it. This is that's why I put this as number one. I ain't see this in the comment section, in the Patreon. Salute to the brothers there, but I was looking for that one, definitely. I was looking for this. Because that came from them. That came from Becky's Man versus the Bear. And they immediately jumped on the bandwagon. Like immediately. Here's a quick history lesson, right? Right after bondage, black men understood something. In order to build communities, they're going to need some political power. So the first thing they started doing was rallying for the vote, right? They need the right to vote. The opposition was Becky. Becky was upset and panicking because Becky has been trying to get the vote since the late 1840s and nothing was happening for her. And for us to be trying to get the vote in the late 1860s and we're getting traction, she's like, wait a minute, we've been at this for 20 years, 20 plus years trying to get this done. And here you are coming out of nowhere and you're getting traction. So what did she do? She started recruiting. And who did she recruit? She recruited Keisha's. And she recruited notable figures too. She recruited Ida B. Wells. Ida B. Wells was out there writing journals. She was out there marching with them. She was marching one time in a.
This is the beginning stages of the feminist movement. Okay. About to give you all a history lesson right now before we close this out. But this is why we got to hold the bitch accountable in our community, because they followed up behind these heifers and they shit, and it slowly became the demise of the black community. Okay? But I'm gonna let them continue on. So let's go.
In the front, and they told her, no, you have to march in the back. Now here she is, she's getting them noticed, right? Getting them noticed. She's literally their PR, and they're telling her you have to play the back. And then when they go to the conference, to whether it was a church, whether it was a building, when she would walk with them, they would slam the door in her face. You're not invited to the conference. Thank you for being a foot soldier, but no, we got it from here. Just keep doing what you're doing. Same thing with Sojourner Truth. Sojourner Truth, where you think that Ain't I a Woman, where you think that came from? You think she wrote that? No, Becky gave that to her. Say, hey, go up on the stage, go up on that podium, go up on that shanty podium and go and tell them what you mean and how you feel, and it came from you. Also, what she did, what she did was after that, she sat down and told somebody, told people that was interviewing her, hey, we can't let black men get the vote, because if they get the vote, they're going to be worse than the slave masters. This is what they were doing. This is all documented. Look it up for yourself. This is all documented. This is what they were doing. So when we got the vote in 1870, they was upset. They was upset. See, here's the thing. You know, Keishas today will always say, oh, you always looking for Becky. You always, if Becky could do this or Becky could do that. No, that goes for y'all. That doesn't go for us. Because when it mattered the most, you was the one checking for Becky. You was the one under Becky. We was never under Becky. Matter of fact, we was so anti-Becky. Anytime Becky came around us, we moved. We wouldn't look at Becky.
Yo, y'all was the ones during them olden times that was taking care of their kids. That was even going to some extremes is nursing their children. The men, we was in the fields. They put y'all in the house. They put y'all in the slave quarters. Well, we were always in the slave quarters, but them special niggers, they put y'all in the big house because y'all had certain skills like cooking, cleaning, nursing, babysitting, raising up they little youngins and shit like that. Black men wasn't doing that. Black men was getting hell. Black man was working 18 hours a day and got to get right back up and do it again in 6. But y'all got it bad. Y'all got it bad. Y'all better remember y'all history, man. But anyway, let's go. We almost finished.
Becky, we wouldn't talk to Becky because we understood what would happen, what possibly could happen if there was any interaction between black men and Becky. Their families can be put in jeopardy. So black men wasn't playing this Becky game. It was Keisha's. Becky's was following us. I know it's not that many around on this channel that's really like day ones, but I did a story on a town called Coal Ridge. Coal Ridge, C-O-E Ridge, where black men went over there and created a settlement. And you know who followed behind? Becky's. Becky's was trying to find this settlement, find Coal Ridge, and try to get away from the Brads that was abusing them. Oh, look this up. I did this story years ago, like really a long time ago. So black men wasn't chasing after no Becky. They wasn't. Becky's was chasing after black men, looking for protection in their settlements away from these abusive Brads. Because these settlements were protected by black men. And they was looking for that. So when you look at Becky, she didn't get the vote until 50 years later in 1920. And I'm talking about in the States. Overseas, she got the vote in England, they received the vote in 1918, but over here in the States, it was 1920. So in 1920, when it was time for them to vote again, who did they get? Who did they get to do all the footwork again. They got Keisha to do the footwork again. It was like every 30 to 40 years, a new agenda would come and they would get Keisha to do the footwork. She always followed behind them. That's the reason why I did this video, because I'm like, it's not just things from the past. Anything that's trending, anything that's new, anything that Becky does, Keisha immediately follows right behind it. And this will continue to happen. They the ones who are Becky worshipers. Well, that's it for the video. I hope you enjoyed the video. A lot of time goes into
all right. Just a little history of the whole, you dig, with the feminist movement, and just to coincide with what we was talking about as far as this whole got to keep the bitch accountable, man. It's been fuckery going on in our community for a number of decades. It shows in how we move around out here. It shows in some of the situations that we be a part of. And yeah, something has to stop. Something has to stop. You know? But I hope everyone had a good night. I hope you enjoyed the live stream, even though I started an hour later than normal, because for whatever reason, my live stream, my soundboard, everything just wanted to start acting up all at the same time. You know? But anyway, you are here at the Black Bottom Roscast. I'm your host, Ross Lee. Please like, share, and subscribe. That helps with the algorithm when you hit the like button. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. We gotta do better, y'all. We gotta have better vetting situation. We need help. We really need a lot of changing in our mindsets to make things better. You know. But other than that, I hope everybody has been blessed. I know I've been kind of cutting it short the last couple of weeks. I've been having a lot of other stuff going on, so just haven't been able to do it on the regular like how I normally done it. But I'm working on getting some things back in order and back in the whole repertoire as far as what we're doing. So with that being said, you are here at the Black Bottom Roscast. I'm your host, Ross Lee. And till next time, we are gone.